There she is, HMS Hero.
Right on time, too. At least her navigator's efficient.
If he wasn't, he'd be out on his ear. Commander Niles is a perfectionist.
You know him?
We've met.
He's something of a star, isn't he? First shot promotion to commander.
A star indeed.
You don't like it?
Haven't seen him for 9 years. Well, let's go up and say good morning. Stand by to service.
Stand by to surface. Open 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 LP master blows. Cycle main vents. Open the lower lid.
1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 LP master blows open main vent. Cycle the
Ready to surface, sir.
Starboard 30, steer 272.
Starboard 30, steer 272.
Service.
Blow 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 main ballast.
Blow 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 main ballast.
Submarine serviced on the starboard bow, sir.
Moment of truth is at hand.
Not as far as I'm concerned. That hatchet's buried. We're here to do a job.
I hope Aubrey sees it that way.
He'd better. Not standing any nonsense from him.
One clip. 2 clips. 3 clips. 3 pins, 3 clips. Upper lid open, sir.
Start the blow.
Make to Omega by light. Welcome. Request pleasure for your company at breakfast 0730.
Aye, sir.
Make back. With much pleasure. Haven't eaten all night.
Pomeroy and Wallace, your divisional officer wants to see you. No, not now, after breakfast. He's on morning watch.
Yeah, Sheriff. This bloke reckons submarines are good news. He won't believe they're dangerous.
Head off. They're a bit cramped, maybe, but submariners do all right for themselves, and they get extra money. Submarine pay.
Exactly. They have to be bribed to stay in them. Terrible things.
Terrible. You don't know what you're talking about.
Don't I, mate? You know what a psychological explanation is for wanting to join a sub-service? They want to crawl back in the womb. Official, you ask any medical officer.
If the good Lord had meant us to live underwater, we would have been born with gills.
Too true. Here, did Lieutenant Parry say in his cabin, Sheriff?
Aye.
Death traps. Lunatics.
There ain't half some knowles about. Makes me sick, damn scaremongers.
Didn't I tell you?
What?
Pomeroy and Wallace volunteered for submarines.
Aye?
It's called discouraging the competition.
How are you settling in Omega, Kenneth?
Well, thank you, sir. Of course, it takes time to get to know one's officers and men. One mustn't judge them hastily.
Indeed, I've been very fortunate with my Viking hero.
I recognize your first lieutenant. Wasn't he with you in the Banniston?
Derek Beaumont, yes, he was my #1 there, too.
Beaumont, yes, of course, yes. It's odd that I'd forgotten his name. I remember everything else about the Banniston.
I'd rather hope that, it was behind us.
One can try to forgive, sir. But one can hardly forget one's only brother.
I'm sorry you feel there's anything still to be forgiven.
I'm afraid I do.
We discussed that at the time. There's nothing more to be said.
Black, please.
Here to do a job, an important job, and nothing that happened over 9 years ago should be allowed to colour the conduct of that exercise.
You don't have to talk down to me, sir. I know where my responsibilities lie. I've never been accused of lacking in officer-like qualities.
But your brother was. That's why he was withdrawn from the service.
Yes, sir.
Damn it, I did my best for him. Carried him. Made excuses for him. Propped him up and the sailors made fun of him. When he drove the ship through a trawler's net, I couldn't ignore that.
No, sir.
The Admiralty had to pay out over £3,000 in compensation. Somebody had to take the blame for that.
And you blamed Patrick.
The Board of Inquiry blamed him. He was officer of the watch, on his own, at night. Should have called me, but he didn't.
Perhaps he was afraid of you.
No. Not of me. Of his situation, of the sea, ships, sailors. He was unsuited to the life. And that's what I said in my report.
Unsuited to the life.
To this life, yes. What's he doing now?
You don't know?
No, should I?
I thought you might have read about it.
About what?
His death.
He's dead.
Yes. 5 years ago, aged 27.
Well, what happened?
Oh, he was a fool. He took drugs. Needle in the arm stuff. Overdose. Accidental. He didn't try to end his own life or anything like that.
I'm sorry. I really am very sorry.
It's his damn silly fault. Of course he shouldn't have let him get it that way. He felt he'd disgraced the family. Looked up to you.
I didn't dislike him, you know.
No, I agree. You don't put somebody on a quarterly report because you dislike them.
Captain Fishery Protection supported my recommendations about your brother. And others kept him under quarterly report after he left me.
Yes, but he went to them under your cloud.
You're blaming me for your brother's death.
What do you think?
I had no choice over Patrick. I told you that at the time.
Yes, and then you ordered me off your ship. No, quite right, too, of course. I made a fool of myself, but that's the trouble with us Aubreys. We've been making fools of ourselves for the last 10 generations, always in the Navy. My grandfather made an idiot of himself at Jutland. He got himself killed. My father did the same in an X-craft during the war. It runs in the family.
Calm down.
Or at least it did, until Patrick came along. He died in a hostel in Fulham, much more sensible.
I've said I'm sorry.
Why should you be? He was slow. Couldn't be expected to keep up with a flyer like you. And why should you be expected to be bothered with somebody falling behind? You were too busy forging ahead.
All right. I'll tell you what killed your brother. It was family tradition.
Really?
Well, you knew the only reason that Patrick joined the Navy was because it was expected of him. 10 generations, a father killed in submarines and a brother determined to carry on the tradition. But Patrick wanted to be a lawyer.
So he said.
He told me so. The family pressures were too great. There must have been a damn sight greater when he didn't make the grade. He'd broken the line, ruined the proud boast. That's what killed him, wasn't it?
No. He was killed by a piece of paper. A quarterly report written by a lieutenant who wasn't all that much older than he was. By a lieutenant.
Get out, Aubrey! Go and cool off on deck until I'm ready to start the briefing.
Aye, aye, sir. Thank you for breakfast.
Aubrey! For the sake of this exercise, I trust this matter is now closed.
For the sake of the exercise, sir. Yes.
Yes, I thought you'd both say that, but I can't guarantee anything. There might not be any spare bunks in Omega.
Well, it would be great, sir, if we could go down in her.
Well, it'll only be for the duration of the exercise. Just a short familiarization to see if you both like it. Never know, you might hate it. Claustrophobia.
Oh, not me, sir.
I hope not, sir.
All right, I'll let you know later if it's on, but get your gear packed. She dives at 1400.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Well, anyone who wants to study the full technical details of this new equipment will find them in Annex Juliet of the Operation Order. But briefly, it's called Sonar 8006, codename Saturn Delta. HMS Hero is the first ship to be fitted with it, and this is its first operational trial.
Is it technically better than the equipment we've got?
Yes, although basically it's a modification of existing equipment. It should give better penetration of the bathythermal variations. It's so sensitive that a trained operator should be able to classify sonar contacts with much greater accuracy.
Submarines and non-submarines?
Yes, that's right. So there's no point in Omega sitting on the bottom pretending she's a Loch Ness monster. We'll know better with this little toy. Right, sir?
Right, thank you, Bill. Well, that's it then, gentlemen. Omega will dive at 1400 this afternoon. She will proceed directly to exercise area Gulf, Quebec, and we will follow her exactly 1 hour later. She becomes a passive target for the first 3 hours, and thereafter she is free to make attacking runs on us as she wishes. Oh, usual safety regulations, usual smoke candle codes.
I intend to make this a real test for Hero and for Saturn Delta. Apart from that, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, just think of it. We'll be down there. Just us and the fishes. Everybody else will be up here. Everybody else in the world except mad mataloes and octopuses. Great. Can half look dark down there. We're a couple of nutcases, you and me. Made you will, have you?
Ah, shut up.
10 generations. It's about right. His family's even more Navy-orientated than mine. He's head of the family now. It's been a real shock to him.
It's a shock to me.
I hope you're not taking the blame on yourself, sir.
No. Patrick was dangerous in ships and totally ineffective. He had to go, Derek. But Aubrey can't see that.
Or won't see.
Well, as long as it doesn't affect the exercise.
Aubrey can't afford that.
Well, he's not very rational at the moment.
Maybe. He's well into the promotion zone. He's got to make a go of Omega. He's going to make commander. Or be passed over.
It would teach him.
Well, these will be yours. Wallace here, Pomeroy there.
Well, very well, Sir James. How are they getting on?
Oh, born to it, sir.
Good. Glad to have you with us. Don't hesitate to ask questions. That's what you're here for.
Right, let's go forward, shall we? Careful. This is the forward torpedo compartment. 6 of the best. Now, if you look above you, you'll see a circular aperture. That's the forward escape tower. Similar to one in the other torpedo compartment down aft. Right. Now, sealed in those lockers, you'll find one of these for each member of the crew. It goes on like an overall. Head goes in there, zip it up. Now, that's the connection on the left cuff. You climb into the tower and plug it into an air socket you'll find in front of you. The lower lid is shut, flood valve opened. And when the pressure's equalized, the upper hatch will open. You find you've got so much buoyancy, you just float out. Breathe normally from the air in the hood, and when you get to the surface, you pull a cord on the bottle, the suit will inflate. And for your comfort, all that bulk is nappies.
Nappies?
Nappies. They'll absorb 9 pints of urine, which just happens to be 1 over the 8. You got 9 pints in you, Pomeroy?
Give us half a chance.
Make to Omega. Good luck. We look forward to the hunt.
Sir.
Reply. You won't see this old fox till we get back to Malta.
The train now leaving platform 6.
Ready to dive, sir?
Officer of the watch, Captain. Dive the submarine.
Bob laughed in the Corinthia Palace with these two extraordinary birds. One about 6 foot.
Saturn Delta behaving itself?
All tested and correct, sir. And raring to go.
Flying fraternity all well, Peter?
Hoping for an entertaining afternoon, sir.
Well, they'll be in the exercise area by now. We'll give them until 1500 and then go and wake them up.
Okay, that's far enough. Do you hear there? This is the captain speaking. In a few moments, we're going down to settle on the bottom in ultra-quiet until we have Hero loud and clear on sonar. And then we're going to start stalking her under cover of her own noise emission. Hero is confident that her trials equipment will pick us off easily, but I intend to prove we still have a few tricks up our sleeve. 6 degrees of bubble.
6 degrees of bubble, sir.
Keep 120 feet. You'll have 3 minutes to adjust trim and then we'll bottom. Stand by for snap sounding.
80 feet under the keel, sir.
Good, that means we'll bottom in 160 feet. It's sand and fairly flat, number one, no trouble. Assume ultra-quiet state.
All compartments assume the ultra-quiet state.
We're going deep.
Ultra-quiet state.
Trimmed at 120 feet, sir. Ready to bottom.
Very good. Stop together.
Stop together, sir.
Take her down gently.
Bottom, sir. Depth 161 feet.
Emergency stations, emergency stations. Blow main ballast. Damage reports.
Get that door shut. Turn it.
Move yourself! In here! Move it!
Main ballast blown, sir.
Stop blowing.
Stop blowing.
We're not going to lift that way. Damage number one.
Nothing too bad aft, sir, but no reply from forward. What do you think it was, a mine?
What happened in the accommodation space?
We're holed forward end of the compartment, sir. Water coming in fast. The compartment was flooding rapidly.
Well, let's try and get the water out again. Blow the accommodation space salvage blow.
Blow the accommodation station, salvage blow. Nothing's happening, sir.
All right. We can't get off the mud. We're stuck. Where are our passengers?
They were in the accommodation space.
Oh, yeah. Did the forward watchkeeper get out of the torpedo compartment?
No, sir. It's Petty Officer James.
Right, call the roll, Sandy.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Petty Officer James?
No?
Who's that?
Able Seaman Wallace.
That's the captain here, Wallace. Is the watchkeeper there?
Who, sir?
Petty Officer James.
We had an accident, sir. He's unconscious.
Are you watertight? Did you shut the door tight?
Yes, sir. It's tight shut.
Is the other passenger with you, Pomeroy?
Yes, sir.
How bad is Petty Officer James?
Well, he's got a nasty wound on the head, sir.
Well, do your best to look after him. There's a first aid locker above you.
It's concussion, I think, sir.
Now, listen carefully, Wallace. The situation is this. We appear to have disturbed a mine of some sort as we settled, but we're going to be perfectly all right on the bottom. Now, the accommodation space between you and the control room has been flooded, so we can't get to you at the moment. But you're safe and you're watertight. Be careful to stay watertight, though, because we have 2 compartments flooded. We can't possibly get up. You'll be all right where you are. And I'll get back to you in a while, okay?
Aye, aye, sir.
All right, look after Petty Officer James.
captain. Says we'll be all right. Like hell.
All hands accounted for, sir. No injuries except James. Hero should be on her way to the area now. If the hole's not too big and she can get divers down.
Yes. Thought does occur to me, though. Hero doesn't carry the gear to patch us up. The boat firing equipment.
Ah. So what'll they do?
That is up to the ultra-efficient Commander Niles. Well, we've got 12 hours of good air. That should be just long enough for him to think of something.
70 men through one escape tower. It'll take about 3 hours.
All right, 9 hours. Well, let's get Hero started. Release the after indicator, boy.
Aye, aye, sir.
Do you hear there? This is the captain speaking. Now, unless the damage is far greater than we believe, there's every chance that Hero's divers will be able to do something for us. Now, I'm not going to consider escape procedures for at least 9 hours, so we might as well settle down.
Sir, the after indicator buoy release is very stiff. I think the explosion may have distorted it. Didn't hear the buoy go up.
It's going to be one of those days.
Able Seaman Wallace.
Captain here, Wallace. Now, listen carefully. On this class of submarine, we have 2 emergency indicator buoys. Now, when released, these float to the surface and transmit an SOS. Now, our after indicator buoy isn't functioning, but there's one in your compartment just above your head. But it can only be operated manually. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Look for a hand wheel marked indicator buoy. It should be above you and to starboard. And turn it as far as it'll go.
Yes, sir. Able Seaman Pomeroy is right next to it. The captain says to turn that wheel there. Yeah, that's it. I think it's all right, sir.
Fine. Now we'll wait for Hero to find us. How's Periosa, James?
He keeps groaning, sir, but he's still not conscious.
Let me know if there's any change in his condition.
Yes, sir.
What was all that about?
It's an emergency transmitter. Sending out an SOS.
I knew it. We're crippled. We're not going to get up again. We're down here till the air stinks and then we're finished.
Right. That's got the preliminaries over. Pilot, we better check your charts. Now, this is a designated safe bottoming area, isn't it?
Well, I have checked, sir. There was an old World War II minefield recorded here, but it is marked as swept and safe.
And you didn't think to give that information to me?
Well, sir, it is designated a swept area, sir.
I don't care whether it's designated a mermaid breeding ground. If you'd mentioned mine to me, I'd have bottomed elsewhere.
Yes, sir.
You'll know better next time, won't you?
Yes, sir.
An emergency signal, sir. Submarine indicator buoy transmitting Omega's Morse identification.
Bearing?
263, sir.
Bridge, Captain. Pilot, come to starboard to 263. Come up to 30 knots. Possible subsunk.
Aye, aye, sir.
Yes, all subsunk procedures. Action WASP. Flash signal. To Flag Officer Malta, info Mod Navy. Subsunk signal received from HMS Omega in exercise area Gulf, Quebec at 1522. Proceeding best speed to investigate.
Action WASP. Institute all subsunk procedures forthwith. Ship's divers must hit diving score. A further 5 will
Let's go. Clear the diving hall.
Thought crosses my tiny mind, Sandy. If the after indicator buoy was damaged by the explosion, there's every chance the escape tower was too. Go after the chief. Would you carry out an unmanned run?
Aye, sir.
Here.
It's just as well we tested it, sir. It's US. We can't get the lid into the idle position. The rod gearing's bent.
It's nearly bent in two, sir. Put any pressure on it and it'll bust in half.
You're sure?
Positive, sir. It's kaput.
Well, you all heard that. The after-escape tower's been damaged by the explosion and can't be used. Forward one might be damaged too. Well, that's no good to us. We were daft enough to settle down in an old minefield. One of the mines wasn't too old to complain. Well, we all have to learn our lesson sometime. This is ours. We're doing it the hard way. Well, let's forget that part of it. There are enough helping hands up there. There's enough equipment. There's more than enough time to get us out of here. Now, not one of us doubts that, do we? If anyone does, speak up. Anyone want to panic? Okay, we'll all stand by and watch him. We're pretty close packed here, but if anybody wants to run berserk, we'll all shove up and make room for him.
We're all right, sir.
Yes, I know you are. Well, you know the routine. Those of you who can, get some sleep. Conserve air and space. Come on, Commander Niles. Come on.
We can't. We mustn't. He'll tell us when.
Papa Bravo 471. I am now directly over the indicator buoy.
Roger, 471, your position marked.
In numbers 262, 12 miles. Marked as buoy position.
Steer 262, pilot.
Aye, aye, sir.
Right, Taff, we better get into diving gear.
On my way, sir.
Underwater telephone, Bill, when we're close enough.
Yes, sir.
Almost there, sir. Permission to stop both engines.
Omega.
Put the indicator buoy half a cable on the port
Do
beam.
you read me?
Aye, aye, sir.
Over. Omega. This is Hero. Do you read me? Over. Omega. This is Hero. Over.
Hero. This is Omega, receiving you medium strength, but clear. Over.
Yes, yes, sir.
Omega, this is Niles.
Hero, Aubrey, go ahead.
What is your condition?
We bottomed in an old minefield, and a mine went off somewhere to port. The forward accommodation space is flooded.
What is your depth?
160 feet.
Any casualties?
One only. Isolated from us in forward torpedo compartment. Your two chaps with him.
Pomeroy and Wallace are cut off from the others. Any other damage?
After escape tower is US. If you can't get us up, we have no other way out.
We have only one clearance diver. Get Parry back to me.
Aye, sir.
We cannot put him down yet. We have no equipment for that depth. We will fly it from Malta with the bolt firing gun.
Won't be too long, Kenneth.
Roger. We have air until about midnight.
We'll get you up before the pubs shut. Don't go away.
We'll try not to.
Pilot, exact position of the submarine.
35, 28 north, 1259 east, sir.
Roger, you got that?
Sir.
Right.
She's only up there. About 100 yards away. How long does it take to run 100 yards? You watch Olympics, did you?
9.25 seconds.
Oh, ain't it marvellous? Familiarisation trip.
Where's your sense of humour, Pommy? It's now we need it. Bloody cold.
A few minutes ago, you were too bloody hot. I could put that on. There's dozens out there. You could put one on. We could be out of here and on board Hero in 5 minutes.
You told us to wait.
Yeah.
And what about him? Do we leave him behind? And do you know how to use that thing? Because I don't.
Yeah, well, it's all in here.
Yeah, and something goes wrong. We flood this compartment. They'd never get up there.
Yeah, well, the way the water came in here, there's a hole 2 yards wide. And Hero ain't going to patch that with a metal plate.
Ah, the water would have come in quicker.
Now, listen, I know the score. There could be every ship in the Med coming to help us. But they can't do nothing. Now, he knows that. But he's pig-headed. He'll leave it to the last minute, and then we'll all get up in an orderly manner.
Say again.
I still haven't told your lads the exact position. I don't want them thinking in terms of escape towers. They don't know the procedure, and if they flood that compartment as well, then we've had it.
The gear should arrive any minute. We'll put the divers down now to assess the damage.
Helicopter on radar, sir. Closing fast.
The helicopter's here now. Things are moving.
Roger. Well, if you have any prayers, prepare to say them now. I'll give you the words. Dear God, please make the hole a little one.
What does he care about us? You're in the Navy now. It's discipline. Doing the correct cobblers, acting by the rules.
That's right.
Well, that's not the way I've lived it, Marshy. I've always had to get myself out of a mess. Any mess. In the long run, it's up to me. Now, you only got one life and you've got to look after it. What does he care about me? About you?
He'll tell us when.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it now. I'm getting out.
No, you mustn't do that. I'm going to tell the captain.
You ain't gonna do any such bloody thing.
You try and stop me. You're going to get us all killed. You bloody fool! Look at it! We're out of contact now!
Can you set up the bolt firing equipment, sir? We'll check it as soon as I come up. Okay, Dab. Ready for off, sir? Right, Dab. You two put that wooden box in the hangar.
Omega, 2 divers are on their way down to you now.
Roger.
Well, that's good news. Tell the passengers.
It's dead.
What?
Nothing, sir. It's US.
Hello, forward torpedo compartment. This is the captain. Something appears to be wrong with your telephone.
There is another telephone on the starboard side of the bulkhead. Use that to call me now.
You're sick, Pommy! Don't you see? Control yourself!
Shut up! If that's not working, bang 3 times hard on the bulkhead, and we'll hear you.
Omega, 2 divers will be with you any minute.
In you go. Right, back to the ship.
Spring is to absorb the recoil. What's the score?
Oh, there's no real problem, sir. The hole's about that big. We'll have no trouble covering it up.
Any more holes likely under where she lies?
Well, there's no way of telling, sir. We'll have to trust to luck. We better test out the boat gun, sir,
yes.
if you'd like to stand back. Yeah, that's okay.
Right, well, start patching her up. I'll tell Omega you're on the way down. Omega, this is Niles.
Aubrey.
The hole's not big. A simple job. Could there be other holes under the mud?
Oh, we won't buy that one, sir. We don't believe there will be.
Starting the operation now.
Good luck.
Come on, get the plate! Hey!
These instructions are wrong. Can't open this bloody thing. Where's the compartment flood valve?
You're going to kill everybody.
Nothing here that says compartment flood valve.
You don't know what you're doing.
Must be down here.
Listen, you make one more move like that and I'll kill you. Look what you've done, you stupid bastard. I'll tear your arm out. Do you understand? I'll tear it out of its socket. Listen, Pomeroy, I'm telling you, I'll kill you.
are hearing is the noise of a bolt-firing gun boring holes in the pressure hull on the port side. This is to secure the plate over the hole. Everything is going happily to plan.
Are you all right, Pommy? Are you feeling all right?
Shut up.
You're doing fine.
I'll get you for it. Nobody comes at me.
Okay, then. I don't care what happens to you. I've had your kind to deal with ever since I was 5 years old. 2,000 of them in a playground. Fair? You think this is fair? I took that as my #1 subject. And what a fool I was, still feeling sorry for bastards like you and trying to help them when they get into trouble. Okay, Pommy. Get me for it. I'll show you a few tricks I learned on the playground.
The plate is bolted in position and secure. It's all up to you now, Kenneth. Good luck.
Right, let's have a go. Try the pump.
Open the accommodation space mainline suction.
Bleed some air in through the salvage blow.
Crack the accommodation space salvage blow. Open the accommodation space voice pipe cock.
Keep pumping. Stop pump.
Stop pump.
Blow 1, 2, 6, 7, main ballast.
Blow 1, 2, 6, 7, main ballast.
We're winning. Right. In you go, Sandy.
Yes, sir.
I'm afraid someone's wet your beds through there. We'll be up top soon now. All right? Just as well you didn't try to use these. These are secondary escape instructions. You'd have flooded this compartment and we'd never have got to the surface.
Flash! To all previous addresses. HM Submarine Omega surfaced at 21:49.